Many people say that music is a universal language, and for some, music can be the catalyst that brings miracles into their lives. Such was the case of Bea Hudson and her daughter Jessica.
She'll be all right if I can get her to stay put. You know my mother, music means everything to her, and she wants to conduct the auditions at the school.
Jessica Hudson had her hands full. Since her mother fell ill some months before, Jessica had taken the charismatic woman into her own home. But now, it was the first week of classes at the elementary school where Bea Hudson had for years been the music teacher. And Jessica knew that her mother would rather be conducting auditions for the school chorus than getting the rest she so badly needed.
She said he'd lose valuable practice time, so she took him all this piano music that was written for just one hand.
And Jessica had ample cause to worry. Bea Hudson would go to any extent to help her kids learn about the joys of music.
I've never understood it. I know. Well, I better go check up on her. Thanks. Yeah, okay. Bye-bye.
Don't tell me you're going into work today after how you've been feeling. School chorus auditions today. I can't let the kids down now, can I? Anyway, who's the mother here? I'll see you this afternoon.
Jessica had learned long ago that once her mother set her mind on something, there was no sense arguing with her.
Okay, now we're going to sing the scale all the way
Bea,
up and back.
always a lover of music, grew up in a musical family, the daughter of a minister. She loved to sing in church and to play the organ as well.
Until I cut you off, okay? Everyone together now. Let's give me big voices so that you can get warmed up.
She studied music at a nearby college where she met her husband, who was there as a classical tenor. She heard him sing and fell in love with him before she ever spoke to him.
Okay, sit up straight.
Bea had devoted her life to supporting her husband's career. And when he died, she decided to fill the huge void in her life by taking up where he had left off.
Very nice. Well, that was a good rehearsal today. You're excused now. See you tomorrow. I'm sorry, I don't think I know your name. I'm Mrs. Hudson. And what is your name?
Tim.
Well, did you want to try out today for the chorus? I noticed you weren't singing.
I didn't think you'd want me because
I understand. Come over to my desk. I want to show you something.
Bea showed the boy a photograph of her husband in his prime, at the height of his musical career, heard on stage, radio, and television, after conquering the pronounced stutter he had as a boy.
I'm going to play a record for you of his voice singing, and let's see if you'd like to be able to sing like this someday.
Bea hoped that hearing her husband singing would ease the boy's fears all the more. But the exertion was finally too much for the determined woman who was supposed to be spending the day in bed.
Oh, get the nurse. Quick, help! Help!
I love you, Mom. Where am I? What am I doing here?
Mother, you've had a mild heart attack, and one that could be fatal if you're not careful. You've got to stop doing so much. You've worked too hard and for too long.
Bea's doctor advised that Jessica let her mother get some more rest. Jessica explained to the doctor that rest is what she had prescribed for years, for both her mother and father. She told the doctor that she had always thought it was overwork that had killed her father.
Was Bennett Hudson, the famous tenor, your father?
Yes, the same one.
I saw him in concert years ago.
The doctor admired the tremendous musical gift her father had, and she would never forget the singer's moving rendition of the old spiritual hymn, Amazing Grace.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now am found, was blind, but now I see.
Jessica recalled that the song had been a personal favorite of his. Being reminded of it now forced her to realize that she had always resented her parents' devotion to music because she thought that passion had driven her father to an early grave. Curiously, at that moment, Jessica heard the same song her father used to sing. A wind-up music box in the hospital's gift shop was playing Amazing Grace. Just as suddenly as it had started, the music box stopped. Then, Jessica began to sense that something terrible was happening.
Nurse! Nurse!
Bea Hudson's heart had failed her once again, and now only the persistent work of the emergency staff held her from the threshold of death.
Think?
I've got a pulse.
1, 2, 3.
The immediate danger passed. Bea would now require emergency surgery.
We hope everything will be fine. The operation went very well. But it's still too early to tell whether or not your mother will make it through the night. The next few hours will be very crucial. But if she gets through it, she'll recover fully. I'm sorry, but that's all I can tell you right now.
Jessica decided to stay in the intensive care waiting room until her mother's condition changed one way or the other. But the vigil was a long, lonely one, stretching deep into the early hours of the morning.
Please. I don't want to lose you. I love you, Mom.
Is that your mother in there?
Yeah, it is. She has a bad heart.
No, I don't believe that. That woman in there's got a good heart.
The long night went on. Despite the best efforts of science and medicine, Bea Hudson's condition only grew worse. Soon, the selfless and tireless music teacher would be gone. unless something truly miraculous intervened.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. 'Twas grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my fears relieved. How precious did that grace appear the hour I first believed.
Mom, you made it. I love you so much.
Good morning.
Bee's recovery was almost complete. Her doctors continued to be amazed at how utterly her condition had changed during that first critical night.
You know, maybe you were right. I have been doing too much. Maybe I'm just a stubborn fool.
Mom, I think all you need to get back to work is an assistant to do the heavy work.
Oh, honey, the school could never afford anything like that.
I know. I'm volunteering.
That's wonderful. Thank you. Oh my goodness. What a surprise.
Mrs. Hudson.
Oh, thank you. Oh, it's so good to see all of you.
Or better soon, Mrs. Hudson.
Oh, you're wonderful.
I miss you, Mrs. Hudson.
Thank you. I miss you too. Oh my goodness, look at all these cards. This is going to take me all day to read all these. Thank you.
You have to open it all the way open.
Okay, let's do that. Oh, how pretty. Oh, isn't that? I remember now. I had a dream the other night. My husband came to me and sang this song. And he told me that I was going to be okay.
I know the words to that song.
Could you sing it for me?
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now that now I see.
Oh, thank you so much. That was wonderful.
Later, Jessica decided she had to personally thank the man whom she now believed had delivered her mother from death.
He was working here last night.
Those two guys over there were the only janitors working here last night.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, I know everybody that works here.
Who was this mysterious visitor then? And why did he come to Bea Hudson's bedside as she was dying? Jessica knew that in some way beyond her understanding, music had brought her mother back to life.
Since his beautiful music entered my room that day and sang to me, he has restored my faith and lifted my hope. And since that miracle happened, it's been such a joy to my family. It's restored and strengthened our faith, and we just hope that everyone can experience the same kind of miracle in their life as we did in ours.